got the shield.
I'm going to talk to Derek. Get me on a shield riding regiment. His Helms Deep.
Dude, are you excited for the Amazon show? Because I'm getting a little excited because I know I'll be stoned as fuck when it comes out. And
I'm looking forward to. I'm tamping down my expectations because I don't want them to.
Is it anytime
ruin
soon?
it? I don't think it's soon.
Like next
I think
year.
it's like a year away.
They released an image.
Oh, I didn't even see an image they released. I'll have to
It looks
see like the main
fantastic.
characters.
There is a thing coming out on Amazon before that is fantasy that looks super high budget. I instantly thought of Taylor, but he had bigger family things going on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see the trailer?
No, I don't. Let me see. Do they have like all their characters laid out, like who's going to play who and everything?
No. I'll tell you what. While Woody searches for that, the Matrix 4 trailer dropped, and it was really fucking good. Like the direction that they've taken it is really fucking cool, and I'm excited for the fourth Matrix movie. And I don't remember which one of the Wachowski sisters is directing and writing this one, but because I can't tell them apart, they both have that look about them.
Yeah, it was nice when one was trans and the one wasn't still.
Yeah, and they went like full like pink hair and everything, so it's odd looking folks, but I'm really looking forward to that movie. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but the special effects, of course, are incredible. It looks like they've taken things up another notch, and it seems like what they're doing is that like they plugged Keanu Reeves back into the Matrix and erased his memory, but he's having like some deja vu, and they're playing that song, "One pill, da 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 da, one pill, doo doo doo," and he's like taking those blue pills like every day. And and then like the Morpheus character shows up and is like he's got the red pill, and then just some fucking dubstep drops and he's fucking flying off rooftops and stopping bullets, and he does a Hadoken. He literally does a Hadoken so powerful that it explodes the dojo that they're in. So like I'm so down. He meets the Carrie Ann Moss character Trinity and like shakes her hand. He's like, do I know? There's something familiar about you, and it's pretty cool because like they've both aged, but they still look pretty fucking good.
But most people are like, Matrix 2 was bad, Matrix 3 was super horrible.
Yeah,
and Kyle's like, wait till you see Matrix 4.
Well,
that's gonna turn the ship around.
It's not like they're making a sequel to those though. Like this is kind of doing its own thing, you know. And it's been a generation of time. This looks good. This looks like they're like back to basics. Like.
I'm just thinking of the remakes he's made. He's just killing it with like Bill and Ted's Incredible Adventure. And what was the other remake he made? I forget. He's making some shitty movies lately.
Oh well, I mean that's the Bill and Ted thing is pure fan service. I bet its ratings are super high, and I bet it made like more money I bet it made its money back because it's like a fan favorite. Like it's like a cult classic. So like they were just kind of making that for that group of fans, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Keanu was making it because the other guy, like he hasn't acted since Bill and Ted 2, so it's like kind of nice.
Oh yeah, and that guy aged. He wasn't good looking in Bill and Ted 1 or 2, but he has aged into someone far uglier.
What are the ratings like?
6.4 out of 10. I'm sorry, 6.0 out of 10. I don't even know how that compares to.
I mean, that's pretty strong for what it is, right? We know it's a garbage movie.
Is that the audience score?
One moment. IMDb rating is what I'm looking at.
I'd be curious on Rotten Tomatoes as well. But no, the John Wick shit is outstanding. I'll tell you, like the worst movie Keanu Reeves has ever made, though, and it's important when you're classifying like worst movies or best of the worst or something like that. It matters if they're trying. That's what matters. Like I could go make the worst movie ever. I would just forget to take the fucking lens cap off, right? But if you're actually trying and you're a little bit capable and you don't realize that what you're making is an abomination, that's a best of the worst. I'm talking about movies like The Room.
That's the one I was searching for. I was thinking of the name.
The Room, the Tommy Wiseau fucking abortion of a movie. I'm gonna watch that in Colorado. That's on the list. Or something like Troll 2. That's well known. It's another one that's like so awful that it's hilarious to watch. There's a lot of them. Well, in like 1992 or something like that, they made Dracula with Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins and Carrie Ewells and Winona Ryder. And it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the guy that made the fucking Godfather. And you're like, holy shit, that's an incredible cast. they've got a cool way of thinking about this, making Dracula kind of a sympathetic anti-hero where like they explain why he's doing what he's doing, and Gary Oldman has shaved his head like a fucking retard to like give him this weird ass hairline. He shaved like 4 inches off his hairline, and then like yeah. So all right. So who's gonna play like the main character? I can't remember his name. It's been a while since I've read the books, but Keanu Reeves. We'll get Keanu Reeves to play the young British handsome man, and it's just like wait, no, don't. And they did it, and his acting in that movie changes it from what could have been like an all-time great movie to like, oh no, he's on screen again.
I heard someone say that they saw my friend came doing Keanu Reeves cosplay, and he was so unconvincing as Keanu Reeves, I thought it was really him.
Yeah.
That's a sick line.
Like Keanu's not a bad actor, but like
he's
that
not a
was
good actor.
I think he is a good actor. He's not. He's a different kind of actor. He's an action
He can only
guy.
play Keanu Reeves.
He plays Keanu Reeves pretty fucking well. I thought he was great in The Matrix, obviously, and I thought he was. I'm so glad Will Smith didn't take that role, and I think that he was really good in the John Wick shit, and even in Point Break, it's pretty fucking good. You know that action movie from way back when with
movie.
Patrick
I haven't
Swayze.
seen that one.
You like it with the surfing and everything?
I've seen it 75 times.
Awesome. That's awesome. Good.
My friends and I used to quote it like it's like code for it was a part of my childhood.
He's good in it, right? Like
Yeah.
he's not bad. Like, you know, he has his moments. But playing fucking Jonathan Harker, that's the character's name. It just came to me. Playing Jonathan Harker in Dracula, guys, you should just go on YouTube and watch a few clips of it. It is so bad. He has to do a British accent, and he's a surfer dude. And Gary Oldman is acting his fucking heart out.
He's a tremendous actor.
He's he's like top 10 best actors in the world. Gary Oldman is. He's fucking incredible. And when you watch his like evil fucking portrayal, like there's a part where he like feeds these vampire whores an infant, and the laughter and glee in his eyes when he gives them an infant, and Keanu Reeves is just like, no, and Gary Oldman is like, and like it's like, holy shit, he really looks like he's happy that he just fed an infant to Monica Bellucci and those other vampires.
So Keanu is like stealing scenes from Gary Oldman, but in the bad way.
He ruins them, and the problem is like the first like quarter of the movie is just them in the castle together, because that's how the books go too. Even more, like there's a big part of the book where it's just Jonathan and Dracula in the castle, and Jonathan is slowly starting to be like, this Count Dracula guy is kind of a weirdo, but if there's so much money to be made for my company, I'll be able to marry Miss Lucy not Lucy, whatever fucking Winona Ryder's character is. Lucy's her friend, but it's a good movie that could have been great, but the rest of the actors are so fucking good that they save it.
We should be talking about this Wheel of Time thing. Like I think it's going to be
Wheel of Time.
Yeah. It's an Amazon release. I did put a link in there.
Oh, thanks.
And it looks like the budget is huge. They released a trailer, call it a week ago. And I was like, fuck, like this thing slipped under the radar. And it's coming out soon, November.
Oh, shit. I'm going to watch the trailer like without reacting and stuff.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how good it is.
Looks like first of all, my first impressions is it looks like fucking Skyrim the movie.
Skyrim is a great game.
Have you tried You on Netflix? Is You a show?
No, I don't know what You is. No idea.
Have you tried You on Netflix?
It must be a show.
Oh, it's a horror show called You, I guess. No, I haven't heard of it.
Oh, if it's a horror show,
okay.
Well, I just realized you're speaking Taylor's love language.
I love horror shows. Good ratings. Wait, Rotten Tomatoes, is it?
All right, I don't know about the Wheel of Time, man.
Audience
I don't know.
score?
It's,
No, you're not digging it?
I don't know. I just saw the monster, and it was that was kind of weak CGI. I don't know. I'm going to watch it. I'll give it a chance. Taylor, what do you? They say there may be nudity and sex in the Lord of the Rings TV series. Thoughts?
I don't really care whether there's nudity or sex or there's not nudity or sex. I just want them to not fuck up the world. Like I don't want a bunch of needless stuff in there. Like they're getting away from the actual story of the like prequels and everything, because that's what they're doing. They're doing like thousands of years. They're going more like peeling stories from the Silmarillion and stuff, I'm sure, and maybe building around it. I know that J.R.R. Tolkien's son did some like additional writing into the world, but I don't think any of that's like canon. So I have tamped down hopes. We'll see.
I absolutely
but
want nudity and sex, and I can't believe you didn't say you wanted to. And it's not just the nudity and sex, although it is the nudity and sex.
Mhm.
It's what it tells us about it. It's like if I said, Kyle, I'm building this great war movie, but there's going to be no curse words in the entire thing. They're going to say golly gee and shucks the whole way through. You'd be like,
it sucks.
It's not that you're not cursing. It's that is an indicator that you're being a pussy about this show. The same thing. If you're telling me that there's like Game of Thrones level sex on this thing, that tells me that you're like taking some risks and you're not afraid. And that might imply the kind of gore I can expect to find in this show. Like if you're showing dong, you're showing beheadings.
See, but I would like any moment that's I felt the same about Game of Thrones. It was like, look at porn if you want to see sex. Like if they could have taken out some of the sex in Game of Thrones and made the action sequences and the fighting longer and better, like, oh yeah, that's a trade I would make 10 times
that's a good point.
10.
The fighting was too short.
It was too short. It should have been more.
It
should have been even longer.
Honestly, a lot of the sword fights are really poorly choreographed in Game of Thrones.
Some are.
Like the I've seen
the
it many
mountain
times.
one isn't great.
Actually, I was going to go.
Oh no, that one's good.
I think he's going to take.
Oh God, we pretend like that didn't happen. I'm talking about Ned Stark. Ned Stark versus Jaime Lannister. Right before that, Lannister guard stabs Ned Stark in the back of the leg or whatever. That's a really poorly choreographed scene. And I say so because I just watched a master swordsman like grade movies based on their choreography. And I was the whole time I'm like, do the Princess Bride, do the Princess Bride, do the Princess Bride, and he's like, and now the Princess Bride. I'm like, yeah, because that one's so fucking.
I don't
good.
remember anything about the Princess Bride and the sword.
Oh, you probably do. The main character goes against the Spanish guy, and then I'm not left-handed, and he switches hands. He goes on top of the cliff, and it's a dance.
I don't remember it being like. It probably is super good. I haven't seen that movie since I was.
It's not little. Like it's not incredible fencing play, and according to this guy, it doesn't really correspond to a lot of the stuff that they're saying. They're like, you I see you're using Manini's maneuver, and like well, I've never heard of Manini's maneuver, but that's probably not it either. Like it's pretty good, but it's not like stellar. But there's a lot of like sword fighting in movies that just apparently doesn't make a lot of sense. And I don't know. I like when they get things right. Like I don't really recognize bad-ish sword fighting, but I definitely recognize terrible sword fighting where it's just silly.
Or failure to engage, right? If I 3v1 you and two of us are just waiting for our chance, I see that right away.
That's what, not specifically that, but there's a couple of movies that were covered, like maybe 27 Ronin or something. And this guy was kind of an expert at facing multiple opponents. And he talked about how you do that and how it involves a lot of spinning and shoving opponents either into one another or away from one another to create that space that you need. Because obviously, like, they did Kill Bill, and he's like, and she's dead. Like he's like you know, there's that scene where she's like surrounded by the fucking screaming 88 or whatever they are, like 88 guys with. Actually, later they're like, were there really 88 of them? Nah, they just call themselves that. Why? I think think it sounds cool. but there were like
cool.
There were like
better than like the 71.
Yeah, like the crazy 45 doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
No.
But you know, she's surrounded, and like it's like 1.5 seconds into the fight, he goes, and she'd be dead. Because one of those dozen people behind her would have stabbed, slashed, decapitated.
Man,
her.
it's a good thing they brought in an expert to clear that up.
Well, but then he like does another fight where it's like 1 versus 2 or 3, and like immediately the guy like shoves the one guy, draws his sword in one motion, kills the guy over here, then faces the guy he shoves, and now it's a 1v1 because he's already killed like 2 of them like really quickly and without a lot of flourishing or nonsense. Like that really succinct sort of Japanese swordplay that's cool to watch. And I really, he did the Gladiator when it's Joaquin Phoenix facing Russell Crowe, and then a couple others. It was